Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again so much for our time together. Right now, I want us to come back to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, beginning with verse 24. We live in a world where people says, "Oh, you have too many rules." One of our church members came and said, "Pastor, these people invited me to go to their church." And I said, "Well, that's not very nice." I said, God planted you here. And they said, "Yeah, they said COP has too many vowels." And I chuckled and I laughed. Well, brothers and sisters, forgive me, but there are rules in the Christian life. And there are people that like to act like there are no rules, but there are rules in the Christian life. Listen to what Paul says, beginning with verse 24. "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last. Therefore, I do not run like a man running aimlessly, and I do not fight like a man beating the air. No, I beat my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize." Now, Paul uses these sporting events as an illustration. He said, "No, listen, you got to compete according to the rules. You have to do things properly or you'll be disqualified." Now, brothers and sisters, straight talk. When people begin to tell you that there are no rules, there's a name for that in the Bible. It's called antinomianism, anti-law. Now, as Christians, we are saved by grace. Hallelujah. But there are rules in the Christian life. Just go up and Google a few things like rules and look at through the New Testament and go through and search the scriptures to see how often the word rules are used. We don't live by rules taught by men, but by rules taught by God. We're not legalism, and there's the difference. But God has some rules for us. Young people, it's not about avoiding the rules. It's about living a life of a relationship with Jesus. So let me encourage you today. When people begin to tell you there are no rules for Christians, that's not true. There are rules. They're not legalistic rules made by men, but they're rules that God teaches us in His Word, and we live according to the rules.